Imagine 10,000 villages, each raising and impacting 500 orphaned children the right way. 5 million children rescued, raised, and rebuilt to become future leaders, impacting the continent of Africa, and also reaching out to other orphans. This is the aim of Lungisani Indlela Village. Cottonlands in KwaZulu-Natal, like many other townships, is rife with social ills, orphaned and vulnerable children, with no one to look after them. This is why it means a lot to have Tish and Joan Smith, who made it their responsibility to support children and give them hope.
Rescue, raise and rebuild. We're not just building a house and feeding children. We actually want to raise them up to give them every opportunity to be all that they can be.
We saw so many vulnerable and broken children in the communities that we realized they needed to be rescued. Many are abused, and so we needed to restore those precious lives, and as we rescued them, we then restore them, and then we felt that we would raise them up and release them as stars into the world.
We were running a guest house in our home, and two of the ladies who worked for us came from Amawati, and they were telling us about these starving children. And so that's when I started to think maybe we could do something. And we started making peanut butter sandwiches and taking them in once a week. But you know, when you go into a township and you see the magnitude of the problem, you can't stop there. And that just grew and grew.
So we started the Back to School program, and that grew to 600 children. We started 2 creches in the community where these children at least were protected. Many are getting raped and abused from 6 months old, and we needed to put them in safe places. So where they feed 2,500 children every day. We started the church, and we started sport and aftercare for these children. So that's how that grew in the community.
We've realized that these villages need to be next door to a community, but also we don't want to create an elite estate where the kids are isolated from other children, and so it's important for us to upskill and uplift the neighboring community at the same time as we're uplifting our own children here.
So we bought the land in the name Lungisani Indlela Village, which we believe the restoration of the family is the right way and what will change the face of the nation.
Working together with the community, Lungisani Indlela Village not only benefits children in desperate need, but also empowers people in the area who had no job opportunities into employable candidates.
We actually raised up a 20-plus young adults in the community there, and whilst we were busy there, they were learning from us and working with us. And, you know, we felt that we were the pioneers and they were the settlers. And so we handed all those programs over to them to run. They're probably doing a much better job than we were doing.
Training besifundisa kakhulu ngokunakekela abantwana ukuthi labantwana bayintandane badinga kakhulu uthando. Njengoba bephuma endaweni ezihlukeneyo behlukumezeke ngendlela ezihlukene, uba understand ukuthi bahlukumezekile. Isilungele kakhulu le ndawo thina abantu especially thina abantu abamnyama ngoba ixesha eliningi siyahlupheka. Abantu abamnyama bayathanda ukuzala, bazale futhi bangakwazi abantwana babantshinge. So live iqokolela bonke abantwana abantshingiweyo nabantwana abalike abazifilisha bona bengazi into zalutho, thina sifikela sibenze uthu, sibuyisele ithemba nobuntu empilweni yabo.
Ungathini kugogo nomkhulu Smith ngokuthi banenzele into efana nale?
Singabonga kakhulu ngezinto abazenzele zona, ingenzela livingana ebengana abazali banayo konke abasenzele khona, abasikhiphe basihambise kuma trips eyiningi sebasenzele zona, ngiyababonga.
The village uses a holistic approach to uplift their children. It runs various projects like creches, life skills programs, and family crisis support. It has been successful and sustainable through partnerships with government and the private sector.
As a team, we look for good businesses where we can buy an equity stake on behalf of the poor. So we're not sectorally focused. We look at all sectors. There's certain sectors we won't look at that don't fit our mandate. But any business that's got a good track record where we believe we can add value, we will look to we'll go and buy equity stakes in those companies. When we own shares in those companies, we then, like any shareholder, have a right to the dividends that come out of those companies. So we thought, how do you then facilitate the non-profit world to not always be asking for a handout? But now they own shares in their own companies. And every month or every 6 months, those companies produce a dividend that comes back to Live, that helps to keep the village running.
It's been very special for us to be part of this community. We have started to teach a lot of farming, and so they're starting to grow their own gardens, and then we buy back from them. We've now started a business forum where we're adopting 9 businesses. We'll then help to finance them and grow them. So there's a lot of potential. We're building that factory now, and that'll employ another 300 people, where we're doing a combined partnership with Johnson's Workwear. So it's very sustainable. We are hoping that we'll employ 80% of these in the next 4 to 5 years. Our hope and dream is that South Africa become known as a nation that look after their children. That would be my dream. It would change the face of this nation from within. It would change the perception of our country from without. We have 830 hectares in Pretoria now that we're looking to start next year. So I really believe that it's going to start to mushroom as people can see that we can do it on this scale.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, and here at Live, it is the reality, not a metaphor. Just imagine if there were Live villages dotted around the country, taking care of our country's nearly 5 million vulnerable children. What a wonderful world it would be.